So best friends got each other's back. We used to cruise around with a bass to the max. Everyone in school while I was in the lab, cooking up some beats that would turn into tracks. High school chillin', I was on a mission. I had bigger dreams of being a musician. Teachers always talked but I couldn't seem to listen. I lived in a fantasy land, they called it fiction. But I was gonna be big one day, playing shows on the road to a sold out stage. Nobody really cared or believed I would make it anywhere close, I would fail and fade. But that's cool, I love that, cause any little doubt gives me energy back. And now, I'm in a place where I'm glad I never gave up on the dreams I had. And big dreams lead to big things, and big swings lead to big rings. Championships or the big screen, anyone who did anything took a big swing. And big dreams lead to big things, and big swings lead to big rings. Championships or the big screen, anyone who did anything took a big swing. Yeah, let's go. So if you want something big, you gotta swing fast, swing hard and commit. You might miss 10 times, but when you hit, just make sure that you get all of it, okay? People at the top took risks. Investing and testing is all that they did. It's not complicated, it just takes grit. So never give up, take a swing at it. And big dreams lead to big things, and big swings lead to big rings. Championships or the big screen, anyone who did anything took a big swing. And big dreams lead to big things, and big swings lead to big rings. Championships or the big screen, anyone who did anything took a big swing.
Hey guys, what is up? Welcome to Pick and Roll Podcast. What the hell? That scared me. Alright guys, welcome to episode Pick and Roll, episode number 69. I'm here with my guys, Nikki C's, Coach Ed, Glandy, Next Shift Randy, who is back. Welcome back, Randy. We got Spider Blades and Rio from Just Fans Podcast. How's everyone doing?
You made it, boys. We made it.
Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go.
Yeah.
69, doing fine.
What better way to be
69.
69 if you got sticky fingers and sticky feet like the Spidey Man.
Now I understand.
What about a sticky mouth?
Hey,
pause.
young
Sticky
game.
feet to
That's
hang
young
upside
game.
down while Mary Jane gives you a kiss.
I'm a Sixers fans. I got the colors.
Hey, I got the green screen. You know what? Let's get
Man.
started with it. The Sixers survive
Hey,
Game 5. So we're gonna start off with let's start off with Blaze here. How do you feel about this game in this series after last night?
You know how I felt going into it.
Yeah.
I can see it's hard for you guys to take me seriously with this mask on, but you're gonna have to deal with it for a little bit because I'm Spidey Sixer and I'm hanging on by a thread. That's what that team is doing right now. They aren't the bullies. They're your friendly neighborhood 76ers, or today they could be the 69ers. But it's so hard to like hope whenever it's a game that they had no business winning, in my opinion. Like they could have handed that game away a dozen of times through the second half and then into the overtime, or even have a chance to get into overtime. And I think that you can't give up hope if you are a Sixer fan, but it doesn't look good. Like we were talking about yesterday, I threw out the while he still has worth, if they lose to the Knicks tonight, should they trade Embiid to try to get a bunch back for him now instead of waiting too late? And I mean, it came to that for me, and I was that on the fence, and it's like you wait for this all year, and it finally gets here, and your team's not clicking. Like, can I blame it on, oh, they were hurt, they had to finally get together at the end, or oh, they never have their whole team? No, there's half of the league can complain that complaint that their whole team was never there. It's frustrating, but at the same time, you got to be optimistic because you're still alive. And that's the name of the game right now, is to stay alive. It's one game at a time now. So if they win the next one, then you got a game 7. It's anybody's ball game. But I thought it was done. I thought it was done last night.
I did too. And Rio, how about you from the outside looking in?
Yeah, it was a good game, and I really thought the Knicks were gonna, close the door on them, but the Sixers stayed alive and they pulled off the upset. They lived to fight another day.
Yeah, and Maxey had to drop 46 points. He had to become like Michael Jordan and Allen Iverson.
It was a good backcourt between him and Brunson. I liked it.
When you're down 6 with 15 seconds left or 27 some seconds left, it looked like it was done. It's them Reggie Miller moments. Coach remembers what I'm talking about. Reggie Miller with a couple seconds trying to make a miracle happen.
That's always the case.
Coach.
Yep, I've seen those comparisons.
But I mean, it's weird when it happens like that. You think, is there hope? Because I was close to giving up hope. I'll be honest. It didn't look good going into.
I gave up hope. I gave it up I gave up hope. My guy.
If I would have been live for that, if I were live, you would have heard me toward the end for saying this season's over, folks. Now it's time to go to the off season. We're gonna have a long stream about this. Then a few minutes later, when we're headed to overtime, folks, stay tuned. Game 5, overtime, be coming right up.
Yeah. And Randy, on the outside looking in, how do you feel about the Sixers and Knicks series?
For me, it was a good game, back and forth. I loved the play on runs. Definitely, that was really good. But for me, the one play that's going to stick out for me the most was when they allowed you guys to inbound the ball with Maxey. I'm like, foul him. I'm like, just foul him. Like, just hack him. Do something. Like, just and he pulls up just beyond half and nails that dagger. And I screamed. I scared everybody in the house. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? I was like, what just happened? And then afterwards, they even talked about it, and even Tibbs said, we got to talk more on the court. There's got to be a little bit more communication. So come game 6, I'm really interested to see if anything changes. So
yeah, and Coach, we talked about it before we went live. How do you feel about this series right now?
The Knicks suck. They rip.
Come on, man.
No, I'm joking, guys. I'm joking.
Suck for 2 more games. They could suck for 2 more games for us.
Here's the thing.
Two more.
It's karma. It's karma. I mean, game 2, you guys had it. We shouldn't have won, and we won. This time it's the same exact thing, but the roles are reversed. I mean, you can go through their questionable decisions on the Knicks end, but the bottom line is we cracked the door. And you guys kicked the door open and came in and took the win. Plain and simple. So got to tip my hat to you guys. You wanted it. And, the Knicks didn't. Jalen Brunson with the mistakes. I mean, Mitchell Robinson with the 4-point blunder. Just let him shoot. Josh missing a free throw. I mean, these are the little things. You talked about the fouling. I mean, these are the little things when you close it out. This team has not learned how to close out an opponent. When you have the opportunity, plain and simple, you got to be ruthless. You got to basically step on their throats. That's the old saying. But what I like to say is you got to punch them in the face, then kick in their door, and then go punch their mama in the face to let them know that you're serious. And the Knicks didn't do it. And any talk of them, right now, the focus should be on game 6, plain and simple. Don't talk about the future or anything else. Don't talk about game 7. It's on game 6. That's all that really matters, honestly, right now. Because if you go to game 7, and by the way, I said they talked me into winning in game 5. When initially, what did I say?
Yep,
It was going to be a 7-game
You
series.
said 7, yeah.
And last night I am disappointed in myself because on my stream I was so excited. I was everything in those last, and NYG said to me, Coach, it ain't over. And lo and behold, there it go. And I know better. I let my fandom take control of the coach of me. And that part I'm disappointed in. Usually people turn to me because I'm a coach. And what does a coach do? Stay under control, not and let everyone else, but I let my fandom come out. So I tell you this much, I'm too damn smart to make the same damn mistake. Right now, my goal is on game 7. What type of adjustments is Tibb and the Knicks going to do? How focused are they going to be? How hungry are they going to be? Because that stadium, I really do believe you guys are it's going to be all Sixers fans in there. I mean, I know Knicks fans are going to try, but it's hard for me to imagine anything else. So right now, it's going to be a war. I'm rooting for my team to come out victorious, of course, but you know, it's going to be, that stadium is going to be rocking. You guys are going to be bringing the energy for your team, and the Knicks are going to have to find a way to fight through that, because if they don't, we're going back to New York after that. So right now, my focus is on shooting down 95 to your stadium, 9 o'clock tip-off. Everything else is not important anymore. It's only thing that's important is the Knicks and the Sixers, and the Knicks have to come out victorious. Go ahead, Mitch. You got it, bro.
So, Joel Embiid had the quietest triple-double I've ever seen.
That's fair.
And then he almost had a quadruple-double in turnovers. He finished the game with 9 turnovers.
Yeah.
So I'm just,
Yo.
I'm just like, the playmaking was off, the awareness was off, his fatigue was off. This was not his best game by any means.
We even joked he gave up a ball just to get that 10th turnover on the live stream.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
It's kind of like, remember the movie Waterboy? When he had the ball and he gave it to the other guy. He was like, here you are. That's basically what Embiid did. That's basically what Joel Embiid did. And Tobias Harris had 19 points. Is that going to happen game 6? No. That's not going to happen
You
again.
can't rely on Tobias to have 2 good scoring games in a row, or even solid scoring games for that matter.
They all need to do well, which is we don't get that very often, is they're all clicking on all cylinders.
I mean, come on, y'all. I mean, I know y'all killed Tobias Harris, but you know, stay in the moment, man. Stay in the moment. He really did ball his ass off yesterday.
He was playing good defense, you guys. He was
He did play good. He played good defense. He played physical. He made plays when he needed to.
Exactly.
I count at least 6 or 7 passes that he deflected out of bounds and or was on a guy and a guy shot was off. Like he definitely plays. It's not his fault. He maxed out and got the contract he did. You guys offered it. He's like, shit, I'm gonna sign that and play. Yeah. So it's like, I understand you got to live up to what you're making, but it's like right now I see a different Tobias. I see a guy that wants it.
To me, last night was more about Brunson and Maxey, because I think to me it was validation that those two guys having this phenomenal year in the regular season wasn't a fluke. They brought it into the postseason. Maybe not your boy Brunson as much last night, but throughout the series, he's shown that he can be that A1 man in the playoffs, not just in a regular season. And that's why we could be going 7 games.
I mean, if you want to be brutally honest, I mean, right now, the biggest issue with the Knicks is Dante DiVincenzo. Yeah. He's not producing. If he produces like he has in the regular season, are we here talking about a game 6? Honestly, I don't think so.
Probably not.
I mean, he scored 8 points yesterday. I mean, he's been single digits the past 3-4 games when he's averaging dang near 20 points a game. I mean, if he plays even it gives us half of that. It's a different series, and they're foul shooting through. It's not just yesterday. It's quite a few games. I mean, they literally 10 free throws yesterday, 10, and it's everybody, Brunson included. They're all missing free throws. I mean, and you can't. That's gimme. That's like walking down the street and seeing a bag full of money, and you just walk right past it. Come
I
on,
think it's
man.
happening on both sides, though, Coach. Maxey missed 3 free throws in the clutch last. I mean, he was clutch by hitting those, but those 3 free throws could have prevented overtime in the first fucking play.
So are you Peter Parker now?
No.
Oh,
He's Blaze Parker. He's Blaze
Parker.
It can only last so long. You can only last so long under that pause.
Yeah.
Damn.
But if I'm the Knicks, they're putting OG on Maxey. They're saying that enough's enough. I'm putting my guy on him. OG's a dog. He can get after it. And you're saying enough of this fucking shooting from all over the place. We're gonna put our best defender on you, and we're gonna see if you can beat us. And I love Harvenstein. I love how he plays, but man, sometimes it's like you bang your head against the wall. Like, what are you doing, dude?
Can't handle Embiid. But here's the thing. There's one thing that really frustrates me with the Knicks defense on your pick and roll with Maxey and Embiid. Especially when Robinson's in there, he's giving drop coverage.
Yeah.
He's not extending. At least extend him out, and then you can recover. That allows your partner to get into position because he's dropping, and then Maxey's just coming up and shooting the J right there. Where if as big as he is, as long as his arms, you're forcing him towards the sideline. You're not even doing that, and I don't understand why. And it's not just yesterday; it's quite a few games in this series, and I don't know why the Knicks are not. Are you that afraid of him, Embiid? I mean, is that what this is? Because as big as he is, Mitchell still makes it hard for him to get a good pass. You still can have backside help. So it's like now the big shot that he hit when he came off and Embiid was going and he hit off of the left was it the left elbow off the 3-pointer? Yeah, that was clutch. All right, I'll give him that. But every other time on the pick and roll, you're giving drop coverage. That's giving Maxey, and that's another reason why he's having a great series, because the defense is not doing what they need to do in terms of extending him and forcing him to go to someone else.
And then you can say the same thing about Embiid and drop coverage as well. It's both sides, both sides to that. So for me, honestly, that's what I'm most afraid of. It's a drop coverage and having Brunson all that room at the free throw line. That's what I'm afraid of. Like
the one thing you guys don't have the advantage over the Knicks, though. You do have him. I mean, he didn't play well yesterday, okay, but you still have him in terms of your pick and roll. We don't have anybody like that. I mean, you can say Hartenstein with his push shot, okay, but that how we've seen also where he shoots air balls off of it. Mitchell Robinson can't give you dag doodle off of his. You can only get him to lob to the rim. That's it. He has no offense. So other than that, and I think that's the thing with the Knicks. That's where, for me, if you're going to do pick and roll, sometimes get some of the other guys. Get OG involved in pick and roll a little bit. Yeah. Because now you can get him. He can now force your defense to do other things, and he's doing well with attacking the lane on occasion. He's not just sitting in the corner waiting for a three. He's attacking the lane. So, and that there's things that with the Knicks that I'm saying are like, what are you guys doing? But again, it goes both ways. Both sides are making mistakes. This is what makes for a great series. As Kendrick Perkins says, if you're a competitor, this is the type of game that you want to, this is the type of series that you want to see. The back and forth. It's a heavyweight boxing match, and you're getting it in the first round of the playoffs. So, it's not an easy sweep like other teams out west. We're going to leave them nameless right now.
Yeah, but you had a good point about OG on Embiid. I forget which game it was. I think it was 3.
Game 4.
It was game 4 when Embiid had 1 point in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Yep.
OG was
Yes.
I'm telling you, you gotta put OG.
He's a good defender, man. He locked down Jokic when we played them. He locked down Jokic. So,
well, I was talking about offensively. I'm not talking about. I'm talking about we use Brunson and OG in the pick and roll action just to give a different look. And if we're going to talk about a big in the pick and roll, I don't want to say forget, but not Hartenstein and Mitchell alone. Where is Precious Achiuwa?
That was my question.
Game 4, Precious Achiuwa what did he do? He forced Embiid to have to play out because he can shoot from the outside. You don't, and you only went 7 and you lost Bogdanovich. At least give me that, where you don't bring him in there to at least, because now if you do that, Embiid has to come out, and that opens up the lane, because there were times that you guys were putting 4 in the lane when Brunson is coming in. So again, it's questionable. You guys made the right adjustments. Shout out to Nick Nurse. He did a good job in his adjustment. Tibbs, now it's the chess match moves to you. How are you adjusting, and what are you going to do? And if it's a close game, what do you do to help close out the game? I've talked enough. Go ahead, y'all. Y'all got it.
Yeah. So Coach and I were talking about this when I was live streaming the Celtics and Heat, and we were talking about errors. So we were talking about how like LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, all of these stuff they're losing, and I feel like this era is pretty much over. We're in the Luka Doncic's now, Anthony Edwards. You can
Jokic.
You can throw Jokic.
Jokic.
You can throw Wemby, Rios' favorite player. You can throw him in there.
What time was his first playoff game? I don't see him.
But yeah. So it's this era. It's like that era. Curry too. Is that era kind of over? Randy, I'm gonna start with you on this.
Oh man, I want to say yes, because like the young guys right now are showing it during the playoffs. I mean, like I watched every single game of that Timberwolves series, and I am now like one of the biggest motherfucking fans now. Like I love that man. I love what he did. I love the shit talking he gave to KD, and then he brought it offensively and defensively. I mean, I think this kid could be the face of the NBA forever. I mean, he's already been in a movie. He's already played the bad guy. He embraces being that dude. So for me, I definitely say yes.
All right. Rios, how about you? Is this era over? We're on to the Wembanyama era now?
Yeah, the Curry era is over. Well, we have to make the playoffs first. I win more than 21 games.
Okay.
No, I think that era is over because the Warriors are getting older. Clay's probably going to move on. It's just going to be Steph. They're going to have to rebuild, and I don't think Curry can carry a team by himself at this stage of his career. The Lakers with LeBron, who knows where he ends up? Who's might stay, might leave, but yeah, and Durant, like he's stuck in Phoenix because I don't think anyone's going to trade for him with that contract.
I agree. Blaze, is this era over?
Yes, but it's an exciting thing because there is probably 24 young talents that can, it's almost like one for every team almost, if you think about it. Like there's this gem hiding on every team now. So I'm gonna go back to when I was a little kid, and then you had Dr. J, you had Magic, and you had Bird. Now when that one wound down, it wasn't just like Jordan right away. There was this little, oh my goodness, like who's taking the reins? These guys are getting a little, they were still there. Jordan, then you had that crew that Jordan came around with. You had the Kobe's era, and like LeBron's last couple years now, Durant, all these guys that we've seen for the last 2 decades. You got to think it is time. But 2 things. Number one, I'm really happy that we got to really live through this era with the Durants and the LeBrons and et cetera, et cetera. And like I said, I can't remember a time when there's more superstars. Now, there's also that elite level above there when you go up to that top tier. But right now, elite superstars, there's ones on almost every. It's so exciting for the future. So, yes, it's over, but I'm excited for the new era, big time.
Kevin Durant. That's good. That's good. Nikki, is this era over?
That era is starting to fade out now. Now you see we're at that point where the younger guys are step up. The teams with, in this case, the Minnesota Timberwolves with Anthony Edwards are going further in the playoffs than the Lakers with LeBron, KD-led Suns, Warriors with Curry, who didn't even make the playoffs this time around. You're starting to see the Tatum and Brown Celtics, even though those guys have been there for a bit. They're one of the contenders. Jokic, his Nuggets, is fresh off a championship win. We're at that point where these guys are stepping up.
Yep. And Coach, you and I talked about this the other day a little bit.
And you got the Nuggets and Wolves as the main series of the second round.
We were talking about that late. I can't wait for that, man. I can't wait for that. So, Coach,
And the
Well, you guys-
SGAs. So, but I'll let Coach take it from here.
Coach, go for it.
It's over. I mean, you guys all hit it. The transition. I mean, if you look at it, the young ascending superstars. Let me phrase it. Let me back up. Yes, it's over, but it's slowly ending right now, and that's the thing. I mean, you think about it. There's one that most of us haven't talked about, Pablo Bencharo. I mean, he's one that, as long as his game continues to develop, he's going to be one of the elite ones, maybe in the East, so you can go through, you guys hit the ones in the West. So, and it's as Blaze said, it's exciting. You have to love it, this transition. So at least you're not going to have a what if or a dead era. So, and now after last night, Tyrese Maxey, he has now put his name on the map as saying that, what, he's one of the elite. And I'm going to say this now, my unpopular opinion, this team is not Joel Embiid's anymore. It's Tyrese Maxey's.
Well, that's just like we were talking about Cat and Edwards at the beginning of the year, Coach. Remember that? And we were all kind of like at the same thing, saying Ant can take over, but it's going to be up to, Cat kind of letting the younger guy be. All this, what it all comes down to? What a pro wants. What a pro needs.
Please don't.
That's a good one. I like that.
Quite at that point with the Sixers, because we see with Embiid, they had a much better record with him, so we're not at that point
But
yet.
he-
Now, if
he-
we get
he-
to a year or two from now, maybe, but not at that point yet.
I mean, I get it. It's just that I watch Embiid, and to be the player that he is, and I get he's hurt right now, but still, you threw a 50 piece on the Knicks. So I'm sorry, there's no more excuses.
Yeah.
You have that. He should be dominating, period. And the one who's dominating consistently through this whole playoff series is Maxey.
Yeah.
He's saying this. He's taking the mantle. It's just like as a Knicks fan, it was Julius Randle's team. Brunson came in and took over this team. And that's what I see in Maxey. I mean, I'm on the outside looking in. I don't see it. But as an outsider, and especially from this playoffs, I'm saying that this is becoming Maxey's team if it's not already.
Well, I agree with your assessment. Shout out to Earl Cole. I agree with your assessment because when I was on the post game at Philly Sports, my main dive says he goes, Maxey to Embiid. Look at me. I'm the captain now. I'm the captain. You got to give him the reins. You got to. I mean, it's a young man's game. Maxey set a stamp saying he's a future face in this league. You can argue that.
Mitch, what did we talk about the last year about what Embiid could not do late in the season in the playoffs?
Close
Close out the games.
Yes, he looked awkward doing it. As great as he is, he didn't look like the guy that we could just say he's going to take the last 12 possessions and close it out, whether he dishes one or two and tries to complete. Embiid can't do that. Maxey can. He showed last night he can. And we got two players that can drop 50
throughout the playoffs of not closing.
Yeah. And that's what I mean. We needed a closer. They need a closer. I mean, now is Maxey a always clutch closer? He did it once. So you got to do a lot more to prove to me, even though I could be the biggest homer of all homers. He's a Kentucky guy and a Sixer guy. I mean, that's two of my favorite teams. So I got to love this guy. I've invested money in this dude. I've talked about how much money I invested in his cards his rookie year because I was hoping I literally banked on this guy, and I'm not a gambler. I'm glad to see him reach this next spot, but it's the closing ability that I hope that he can do that Embiid cannot.
We've been witnessing that throughout his career. We've seen the growth. We've been seeing all the work he's put in. And honestly, I have a question before we go to our next topic here. Maxey, all NBA second team this year? You guys think all NBA third? Obviously
probably
not
third
one.
team.
I can see third.
I'd say probably third team. I'm thinking about the All-Star team and stuff too.
I can see third team as well.
He's the most improved player.
I mean, he could end up getting a year of All NBA 1 or 2, but this year I'd say 3, just because there's so much fucking talent. There's so much
Yeah,
talent.
there's so much talent.
And
why
that's
I'm
my
gonna say
that's like
three.
literally my favorite player. And I'm trying to be unbiased. Would I love him to be first all team? Yes, but I want to be real. I think there's still room for growth in that kid.
Mhm.
I mean, as much as he looked great last night, there was times he looked like he didn't know where he was as well. Like he didn't feel as comfortable throughout the whole game, in my opinion. He's not a seasoned playoff guy yet. But to Coach's point, he's already proved he's going to bring that game that he has in a regular season into the postseason. And I'm telling you, I've seen the same thing for Brunson. When he's going to take control late in the game, whether he didn't do as great as you're thinking, late in the game, he wanted the ball. Late in the game, Brunson wanted to create. And I loved seeing that, man. That was like, look at this guy grow. Even though we already know he's top 12, 15 of the league, look at him grow even more in front of us in this playoff series. And it's kind of like, I'm glad Randall's not there. Because then where would this could it have maybe messed up the chemistry? I'm playing both sides. I'm playing both sides.
No, I get you. But the thing is, when you think about this, when after the OG trade, remember when they traded for OG, they took off. If it wasn't for Randall's injury, who knows where they really would be? They had, I think, 1 or 2 losses.
I'm saying it might have been a blessing in disguise.
No, I get what you're going, but what happens is Brunson is saying, I have to take more of the load.
Yeah.
When you have Randall, he can distribute more of it now, and it changes the defense's focus.
Yes, I'm saying the same thing you said earlier from the outside looking in.
Yeah, I get it.
From Maxie, I'm telling you from the outside looking in, I'm fucking impressed with Brunson even more that I didn't think I could be even more impressed. But in this series, I'm like, oh, he really is the dude. You know, I'm like, I've seen him do it all season, but I'm like, can you do it when it really matters?
Exactly.
And they both are. So I'm loving the series. I thought it was over.
Yeah, so do I.
I'll be real.
All right, TRL, where the hell are you? Because the Suns' big three a flop. It's your Suns' Phoenix 3, big three a flop. Let's start off
Flop.
with Coach.
Flop, flop, fizz.
Oh, what a relief it is. It hurts though, man. That's such promise.
Yes. I mean, that right there. Yes, you were thinking of the big three, that type of whatever, and what was going to happen, but that's when you cross talent and money, and you see what happens where it diminishes everything else, because it's not just 3 players to win a basketball game. I'm sorry, it's not. You need those important key role players. I mean, you guys have one of the guys who was on that team. Am I correct?
Cameron Payne.
Yeah, and they had to let him go to get the money to clear the cap space. So, and they don't look like they mesh very well. So to me, it's a flop.
Frank Vogel is about to get fired. One and done.
Again,
Yeah.
And it was funny because I did a short skit with the Lakers, like different things Lakers fans might say. My last one was like, I know Frank Vogel wasn't perfect, but he's better in this situation. Darvin Ham is part of the skit.
We're going to talk about we're going to talk about the Lakers later as well.
So, and now here we are. We're talking about Frank Vogel having a real discussion about it. Talking about he might get fired again.
Yeah. Randy, Suns big
and then
three
maybe
a
he'll
flop.
go coach the Pistons.
Yeah. Oh, Monty Williams. No, they're not. They can't fire Monty Williams. He's the highest paid coach. They can't fire him.
Well, it's part joke, but
yeah, I know what you meant. Randy, Suns big three a flop.
Yeah, man. Exactly like Coach said. It's not just 3 dudes. It's a team, and the roster construction didn't really have a backup point guard or a true point guard. And it was really telling when Bradley Beal got subbed out and Vogel went to give him a high five, and he kind of just sloughed it off, and that kind of showed me that maybe the players didn't even believe in the coach. So they were just out there playing basketball, and they just looked out of sorts. So for me, yeah, it was definitely a flop. So sorry, TRL.
Rios.
Oh, definitely. If you're gonna do a big three like they did in Miami, you gotta make sure there's 3 guys in their athletic primes. Outside of Booker, Bradley's on decline. Kevin Durant's not the same Durant of years past. Much more injury prone, and then just no point guard. You can't have those 3 guys like that that are ball dominant with 0 point guards on the roster. It's just not going to work. And then after those 3, it's the talents up here with those 3 behind them, down here. Like, you can't win basketball games with that kind of roster construction. And they're stuck with those guys because they make up of 150 million of the cap, and they can't really move any of them.
Yeah.
Crazy. And Blaze.
Don't mistake this for disrespect. I think he's a good player, but in my opinion, Bradley Beal is not a big three player. He never was. I kind of question why, and I think Durant wanted him is one of the reasons people are pointing out. But he's a good, solid player. He's a great player, but is he a big three? I mean, to me, big three means you're elite. You are up in that elite because we can't be just three all-stars being the big three anymore. That's back in the day when the big three started. That it was very rare that someone had three all-stars on their team, right? So nowadays that standard has to raise. It can't just be a team with three all-stars as a fucking big three because every team has at least a big two, and they definitely got a big one. We talked about that earlier. So if you want, in my opinion, you want to elevate, we're going into a new era, right? Let's change the game. Can you say big four? Not really. No team's going to invest in 4 max contracts and bullshit. And we've seen before where just taking all stars and throwing them together doesn't mean they're going to make a good team. Exactly. It goes back to the coaching. It goes back to the general managers. It goes back to how they run the team all together. So this one hurts a little bit because one of my Western teams is the Suns. I've always loved the Suns. Barkley, Chapman, all the guys I used to play had their stint with the Suns. Dan Marley, a bunch of old guys from the Suns I used to love. Kevin Johnson, I could go on and on. I've always loved the Suns. And I thought this year, I questioned the Beal part, but I thought, and I'm not using this as an excuse because I always say never use injuries as an excuse. But beginning of the year, man, these three never got a chance to even click or play a couple weeks in a row together. But I think the silver lining underneath all this is Grayson Allen. We've seen him kind of come into his own and finally shake off what those demons of his past, so to speak, and show he could be a consistent player. Not a big three, but I mean, do you need a big three to be a champion?
No.
I'm sure everyone agrees, but does it help? Sure. But they have to work. We saw how the Clippers were beginning of the year when they first put those 4 together in the Clippers, right? And I said, you know what?
Get out of my house.
I can't stand these 4 as players. Really, they're not my cup of tea. But if they get those 4 players to click, the Clippers will be dangerous. And look, mid-season, what they were doing, destroying people because they're playing well. Now it's shaky. But I think it sucks that this is happening to the Suns. But I think it's different situation than like a Sixers or the Knicks or all these other teams that could be dealing with that are kind of in between. I think the Suns need to chop it down, restart. Try something different and really overhaul that team.
Coach, he had Jalen Hurts on the green screen. Now he has the Commanders. There it is. There it is. Okay. All right. So oh God, what is Blaze doing now? What is Blaze gonna do?
Uh-oh.
So all right. So I just got to bring up this comment and then we'll move on to the next one.
Oh wait, You just missed. Sorry to cut you off, but you missed out my take for the.
Oh, I did no because we talked about it before a little bit, but go for it.
Yeah, but I touched up for a second yesterday, but I don't know if you guys remember last year when this happened. I said it was risky, and I thought the odds that was going to work out for a championship run were low. Because at the time, I'm looking at wait, these guys don't have much depth outside of those guys. And come to this year, really, they didn't have much depth. Because who stands out on the roster beside the big three, Booker, Durant, Bradley Beal? Nobody. And then we see what actually happened this year. They got swept in the opening round by the Timberwolves, and they were the 6th seed. On paper, they were supposed to be one of the top 3 seeds at least and have a shot at contending. But it didn't happen. And Bradley Beal, he didn't put up the same numbers, which tells me that he's a good player. I can't consider him great because I consider great and elite hand in hand. I don't think Bradley Beal's quite there. And, you saw that he wasn't up to that level. I think he stat padded with the Wizards because he was the only reliable offensive player they had. And with him now on a super team, quote unquote, it didn't click. They came in as the 6th seed. They got beat in the opening round. So ultimately, yeah, it was a flop considering the hype. Biggest flop in recent years? Yes. And I think there was more people that actually bought into this than the Russ, AD, LeBron Lakers. I think some people saw the writing on the wall there. But
Mhm.
yeah, this is definitely not what it was supposed to be for the Suns. And I think their championship window is definitely closed now. It's just a matter of if they can make the playoffs these next couple of years, I think.
Yeah,
And then you might see him slide to the play-in like 3-4 years from now with Devin Booker trying to carry whatever he has on the roster.
yeah.
Blow it up. Blow it up.
All right, because we saw the Timberwolves take on the Suns, and with Anthony Edwards just having a damn good series against the Phoenix Suns. So my question to you guys: Anthony Edwards, the best shooting guard in the league, he's got to be up there.
Send Booker to Philly. Send Booker to Philly.
You want me to clip that? But my question is Anthony Edwards the best shooting guard in the NBA? He's definitely up there now.
Yes, he's the man. He is the man. I mean, how many times does he have to dunk over, through, into, over, under, around everybody? This guy is the thing. He is him, as the kids like to say. He's showing it. He's doing it over and over. This guy has no reason doing this. He's in a team in the middle of the Midwest. He went where people really didn't realize how great he was in Georgia. He's blowing up, and he's young as shit. I mean, we talk about the Holmgrens and the Wembys, the two younger guys fighting for the rookie of the year and stuff. This guy's going to be like, hold my beer. I'm ready. Get out of here, LeBron. I'm ready to take the damn crown.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, I agree with Blaze. After that game 4, he just cemented himself as the best shooting guard in the league. Because I mean, what a performance!
jaw dropper, dude.
Just straight domination. They could not stop him.
Crazy. Randy, you said
Yeah,
you were
man.
a big time fan of this guy. Is he the best shooting guard in the NBA?
Yes, like fucking hands down. Like I would give up Scotty Barnes. I would give up Quigley. You want picks? You get 10 of them. Whatever ones you want, take. Like I would kill to have him on my team. I haven't seen a guy with hops like him since Carter, man. Like him running back on defense and blocking shots and like his head hitting the backboard and falling because he has that much leap ability. Like this kid, like I said, his dog mentality, his I don't give a shit what you guys got. I'm gonna take over this game and it's my game attitude. Yeah, he look out. The NBA is just along for the ride, and we're his story.
Hey, he's not the best shooter, though. He's not the best shooter. Let's not get confused.
No.
Let's
Yes.
because
Shooting
let's not confuse
guard.
shooting guard with shooter. It's just a position in a game that's pretty much positionless, which we've talked about a lot.
Yes.
He might be the best player in the NBA. Let me just
And I
throw
think-
that out.
And I think this ascension started, like we mentioned, months ago during FIBA. Like you saw him taking that next step.
Yep.
Yep. So he's better than Luka?
Could be. We don't know. He's just getting started, bro. He's literally just really getting started. Like last couple of years, he's ramped up, but he's just getting started.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. I said it earlier. There's 24, little baby superstars ready to be blossomed. I'm not saying Ant's the only one sitting on top of this Rushmore by himself. I'm saying he could be the one, but there's probably 5 that could be the one to be next because we're losing LeBron. We're losing Durant. We're losing
So
Steph.
Wemby.
He's right there with him, but he's only a year in. We can't tell very much within a year.
Yeah. What am I? Coach, best guard in the NBA, best shooting guard.
Muted.
You muted, Coach.
He's going to say no. He's going to have a real good reason why.
No, he's not the best shooting guard in the NBA.
And he's going to have a real good reason why.
He's the best player in the NBA. Period.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, you guys hit it in terms of his ability, his talent, his attitude, his mentality. What hurts him is that realistically he plays in Minnesota. You put him in New York, you put him in LA, you put him in Philly, Boston, Chicago.
I was
Miami.
just going to say, none of us are Wolves fans. None of us have, this is just us as basketball fans being real, what we're seeing.
Mm-hmm. So
Because you rarely see Wolves on TV.
And you know what happens when Ant does things like he's doing? Other people are saying, "Wait, I can do that shit. I can try to compete." Then next year, John Morant comes back, a guy named John Morant, and he's saying, wait a minute, I was supposed to be the one that gave everybody the wow moments. Step aside, Ant, and now you got like 6 players that are all doing it throughout the whole fucking season. NBA is, I mean, I'm just hype about the next era. I really am.
Yeah.
And the thing about Anthony Edwards, like you said, shooting guard, he can also play small forward. He can play point guard.
Yep.
You know, so that's why to me it's
For
not
basketball, like Blaze said. Yeah.
It's not shooting guard. He's the best player right now.
Have you ever heard anything off the court about him? Bad attitude, missing practice, bad.
No.
Have we ever heard anything negative about Anthony Edwards?
I think I
I've
heard
never.
something about he uttered a 6-letter word starting with an F about a summer ago. I don't know if it was just
Okay, well, I mean, that's what I'm
That's
saying. Have we ever
something.
had any kind of personality issues? Because if we're looking at him to be the face, you got to have it all. You got the marketing aspect, the on the court, the personality, the guy on the mic. You got to have a little bit of everything. Kind of like a pro wrestler. If you're going to be the face, you got to have everything.
I heard Adam Sandler say in an interview that he kept calling everybody sir, yes ma'am during this on the set for the movie he did. So like that right there told me a lot about his character and like that, he was there, he was his business and treat everybody the same. So for me,
One other question about Ant. What kind of shoes does he wear? I should know this because I used to be the sneakerhead, but what brand is he? Does anybody know what brand he is?
Adidas, but they're ugly. They're pretty ugly.
All right. Well, hey, that's the thing, though. Remember,
he's up in a game.
He's the type of player
another. So
that could make a shoe company bigger because of he gets bigger.
This happened
look at the marketing
supposedly like around summer 2022-ish or something on an IG video or something. Because I just looked it up. So this was a few years back. I mean, I don't know the full details, but
But no big problem. He's never beat up his girlfriend, got caught with a gun. We never, you see him in interviews, he seems pretty cool. It doesn't seem like a dick. Like, I don't even want to talk about LeBron's interview. We can when we talk about him, but
that
we can
LeBron
get Mitch.
saga is going to go on all summer.
Yeah.
But
So
Anthony Edwards,
Lord help us.
Nick, Anthony Edwards.
But with him though, it's pretty much for the most part it's passed over. Now you don't really hear people talking about canceling him over that. I mean, it was hot for a minute, but now it's cooled over, and all you hear now about Anthony Edwards everywhere you go is positive talk about him. His highlights during the game, the way he plays. And we remember he criticized last year load management, which will do him some favors with the old school type fans as well. He'll get their good graces. And then, if he can pull a deep run, get the Timberwolves or possibly to the finals, you could be talking about him over Jokic in terms of marketability. And that could lead to him being the face.
And the contract?
Not just the money, not just all that. He hasn't been hurt. His health has been pristine.
Good point.
How many times has this guy been injured? I can't even count.
Don't you jinx him, Mitch.
Don't you jinx him, you son of a...
Game 1, Nuggets and Wolves. Down goes Ant Edwards. 5.
Oh,
Here we go.
I will quit
Blame
this.
Mitch,
and
now
it's
trending.
over.
You're right, though,
Edwards
Mitch.
is my son.
You're
Anthony
right.
Edwards is my son.
We knew it.
Glad he's a cover up. He's Ed Edwards.
But Blaze, you were saying?
I was saying a lot. I know. I never shut up. What are you talking about?
No, you were saying about like the health or whatever.
Yeah, I mean you're dead on. I mean it's I don't want you to jinx him, but like I said, we've talked about all these players who play banged up throughout the season. He may very well have had injuries throughout the season, but just sucks it up and plays a tough son of a bitch is what I'm trying to get at. He's the total package. I can't find that's why I asked about the characteristics, the personality and stuff. I was like,
thanks for coming over for dinner.
hey, who's coming over for dinner?
Oh,
Bro.
Because my train of thought, what do we have? Now I'm like, what are we having for dinner? Shit.
All right. I'm hungry too.
Now, I just want to address this. Fungi, I would not put Maxey there. I would put Anthony Edwards or Luka there. I would not put Maxey there. For
Yeah, I
Job,
put Maxey at small forward then, just to get him on the list.
they're
Yeah,
the list.
We
Halliburton.
forgot about Ja because of his off the court history and the fact that he missed most of this year. He kind of slid under the radar of our discussion.
Well,
Now, will
he did
come
get
back?
suspended, but let's think about it.
Yes.
He's also had injuries too that have
Yeah.
kept him off the court.
Just said that.
It's not just the gun thing that kept him off the court.
And there was the injuries this year, so that could serve as a red flag to his potential. It already has.
Yes,
If he
Taco.
continues to trend downward, this will be remembered as the start of his downfall this last year, if he continues going that road.
Yep.
You know where he compares a little bit. I hate to compare anybody to MJ, but I definitely see the flashes because he does ignorant posters. Ignorant.
Yes.
Michael Jordan would put his hand in your chest, and the ball, when it gets dunked through the rim, he'd make sure it hits you in the face as the defender when it went through.
Yeah.
Like that's how ignorant. And Anthony Edwards is. Sometimes it seems like he's looking down on the hoop, like he's going down when he's going to dunk. Sometimes,
Like
It's
when he gets the ball, my heart rate goes up, and I'm like, he's gonna fucking destroy the rim. Like
I'm
something's
looking
gonna
for the
happen.
trampoline after some of his moves.
Yes.
Where's that trampoline he just jumped off of?
And like,
He
he's in the
needed back
backcourt. He's in the backcourt, and the ball's already up, and then all of a sudden he just comes out of nowhere. And you're like, how the fuck?
He epitomizes why I
Yeah.
love basketball. He really does epitomize why I love basketball. Attacking the
The-
rim,
the
showing that
intensity.
aggression, the intensity. Yes, Rios, dead. That's the best word that I think. If you could, okay, here we go. If you could describe Anthony Edwards, everyone on the panel, if you can describe Anthony Edwards with one word, what would it be?
Intensity.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Athletic.
That's a good one.
Monster.
KILLER.
Killer.
Superhuman. I'm thinking superhuman is some of the stuff it makes. me
That's
think.
2 words. You said one. That's 2
There's
words.
a hyphen. It's hyphenated.
No. It's 2 words.
Don't make me look it up.
But no,
I'm
it's
hyphenating that
his,
shit.
he has that killer instinct just like MJ did. Just go out there and take
Yeah.
your soul.
Okay, unworldly.
Ooh,
That's one
good
word.
one. That's a good one.
Unworldly. I mean, we had like half man, half
Unworldly.
amazing was Vince Carter, and like he needs a couple more nicknames. Like we had the Rain Man with Sean Kemp, and that's what I miss back in the day. All these guys, the Iceman, Clyde the Glide, Magic.
Chocolate
I mean,
Thunder.
Magic's
Jack.
nickname was so good it became his
Panther.
first name. Let's bring back the big time nicknames for the
Chocolate
NBA
Thunder,
players.
yeah.
Bro.
Yes, but-
Chocolate
yeah.
Thunder giving
Oh!
dunk all his dunk nicknames. Yeah, you're right, Blaze. I miss those days.
All right.
What about all
Man.
Shaq nicknames?
Yeah, Spongy. I already saw that.
He needs to be in the dunk comp too. My God.
Ooh,
So,
good one. Yes. Go
yeah.
ahead, Blaze. I'm sorry.
So we were talking about the future with Anthony Edwards. Let's dial back and talk about the Lakers and the Nuggets, how the Lakers got eliminated in 5 games.
I'm Canadian boy.
Is LeBron out of LA?
No.
He's going to throw a temper tantrum and beat up a woman in the first row.
No.
I scared her.
I'm scared. Did you see that? Then I jumped and cried like a baby because the coach wouldn't listen to me.
That was so embarrassing. Like, bro, you're
It's
over there
so-
celebrating, intimidating a 5'0" woman. Like, come
This
on,
is why I
man.
can't
Wait, what
stand the
happened?
argument about greatest of
No.
all time. Amazing
Wait, what
basketball
happened?
player that defied all the odds for 30 years. Sure, that's LeBron. He's a fucking asshole.
What happened?
So what? He's an
No,
asshole.
I'm just saying that's my. I'm
No,
allowed to
I'm-
have my opinion.
No. I don't mean it like that. I want him to be an asshole because that means you're pushing yourself for
To
greatness.
discredit your teams, like look back. I saw a
Michael
little
did it. Whether
comparison.
you realize it, go back and
I
look
should
at
have
Michael.
shared it. I should have shared it. The you don't have to be a sportsmanship person all the time. But
Exactly.
if you never shake the motherfucking other team's hands, you show them no respect, and you go and make excuses on the podium like a little baby and don't want to talk and putting the mic down. It's embarrassing for someone who's
Yeah.
supposed to be at the top of his profession. And I love his game, the old game. And if Embiid starts doing that flopping shit like he was doing the last 2 games, like LaFlop, I'll think the same thing about him if he says dumb shit. It's embarrassing for LeBron to act the way he does when you're that guy. Nowhere close to Jordan in my book. Great player, all-time scorer, great scorer. But I look at the entire picture. Your
I do too,
personality,
Blaze.
your sportsmanship, how you are with your teammates, how you are with the media, how you are with the fans, how you are on the court is number 1 by far. It's a game, and it's all about on the court. But look at all this shit that he does now. That he got grown women calling you a crybaby in the game all the time. Like, I know most people say, so what? But it's now that's like his persona. Does that not? I mean, he doesn't care. He's that godly himself that he's now. Let's get a fucking gold statue for him and start bowing to the motherfucker. Then let's start going to Church of LeBron. Let's start that. It's
They already
ridiculous to
started.
me, man.
No, I get
Started
where
that.
you're going, Blaze. Blaze, I get where you're going and what you mean. And in that regard, I respect it. But when I played,
I'll be back
I
in a
don't give
minute.
two craps what people think per se. I don't.
You're not
I
on
mean,
TV though. He's on TV.
if I was
representing a
on
product.
TV, no, that's what I'm getting. If I was, I wouldn't care. But see, that's the thing, though.
It's all right. Some people are.
No, I get where you're going because you're including the money aspect in that regard. Where me, the only thing that matters is this: how I get it. I don't care if people like me because in the end, I'm great. It's all about the championships, which is why I hold Bill Russell so much higher than everyone else. And that's the thing. Now you're talking about, like you said, how do you respond to the media? To be honest with you, because I had a hard time initially, mind you, I never knew how to handle the media. I didn't like talking to the media because a lot of times my mindset is they manipulate and they twist your words around or they take everything.
Dude, listen,
In terms of the media, I get where you're going, especially today. And I'm talking about coming from 1980s. So it's a different era. But I've also done some a little bit, but I've done some journalism in terms of interviewing players after games. There's also the emotion.
I get all that. I'm talking about this new era. But this is
Yes,
the thing
I
for
get
the
it.
show.
I get it.
I just said we got.
I get it.
Let's go back to 24 young, very impressionable kids coming out of college that are looking to be you, LeBron. They want to be you. They want to be the man on the court for 30 years. They want to be able to play like you. They want to be able to play as long as you did, as good as you did, or as best as they can. But right now, he is a bad example. LeBron is a bad example on the court, off the court, on the mic, everywhere. Retire, motherfucker. Retire. Fuck your kid playing with you. Get the fuck out of the league.
Off the
It's got
court,
such a great future, and he's pissing on it right now, in my opinion. Why are we? Because we have to talk about his bullshit instead of these 12 to 24 superstars that are going to carry this league for the next.
But
20 years.
why does everyone have to like for
Because
example?
he puts it out there.
No, Blaze. What I'm saying is, like, for example, realistically, if we didn't bring up LeBron, I don't have to feel I have to talk about him. I don't care if we talk about
that
him.
rep. He's built that rep. He's earned that rep, in my opinion. And anyone out there who thinks this is not me versus coach or nothing, this is good debate. This is why I love this show.
Is it me? Okay.
This is why I love this show.
I love this.
And Coach, you understand it. I'm talking about the people out there because when people get heated, like I get emotional like this, I get passionate. People might think it's not. This is all in the love of the game. But anybody in the chat who might think
I'm
otherwise,
just here, just popcorn.
I'm just here relaxing. I'm here relaxing.
But I'm dead serious in it, man. I mean, I don't expect someone to be Mr. Proper Sportsman 24/7, but you are setting the fucking bar. Now he thinks he's above the fucking law, is what it is. Because he's so great. He's done so much. I'm the number one scorer. I got all these rings. Fuck everybody else. I'm gonna tell fans to go fuck themselves. I'm gonna tell the refs to go fuck themselves. I'm gonna jump and cry like a baby in front of my coach. What is that?
I mean, I do think. I mean, some of the stuff about him on the court being a baby is absolutely correct. I think off the court, being a little bit harsh and being a completely bad role model, because there are some good aspects. You know, he doesn't have all this baby mama drama like some players.
He
He's
used
been
to be a
loyal
great
to
role
his
model.
wife.
That's my problem. He used to be
good with that.
You're forgetting about one thing. How whenever he goes to a team, it changes every single time. They already had a perfectly built. Then he comes in, he wants to change everything to make it his own. That is why I don't want him in Philly. That is why.
I was going to say, Mitch, is when we discussed it a couple weeks back, I was like, I don't want the circus that comes along with it. A lot of people would want it because it's going to bring money. It's going to bring butts in the seats. But it's And
Well,
look
especially
at his
for
track record the
struggling
last couple of
teams.
years. Where's the sign that all of a sudden he's going to click and bring 4 championships the next couple of years? It don't look good. He's on the downslide. He's going to year with his kid, and bye-bye, LeBron. See ya. And I ain't going to miss you
Yeah.
at this point. I
Yeah,
will remember the first 10 years of LeBron's career and love that.
And the formula's been he goes to a team, trades all the young talent, tries to bring in, top 10 players, gets coach inspired, they underperform, everyone gets to blame but him, then he leaves. Rinse
But he
and
has
repeat.
earned this spotlight. Don't get it twisted. Don't get my words twisted, people.
Mm-mm.
I may not be a fan of what he does, but it's all the time. It's not just there's been one incident last year and then one this year. No, it's pretty much you can't watch a LeBron game without him yelling at a coach or a ref or a fan or just one game. Just give me one game. But that's him. He has earned that right. That's what I'm saying. I'm defending him at the same time that I'm bashing him.
No, Blaze, you're right. But see, when you talk, because you're talking about him being a prima donna. That's how I'm taking it.
God, he thinks that he is what he thinks he is, in my opinion.
That's something
Which crosses the line. Big time
I can
to
never
me.
say. I don't interpret it that way. That's me. But in terms of the prima donna attitude, no disrespect, that's been permeated for the longest while. I'm sorry, I can take that back to Isaiah Thomas with the Detroit Pistons.
Yep.
To me, and I guess that's why. I guess why for me through the years, what I'm seeing with LeBron is just a normal. And I'm as a Knicks fan, you heard me say it. Julius Randle sitting there crying to the referee after a play. Every player has done. Now you want to say because he's bigger in life and it's magnified. Okay, I get it. But I guess because I'm compartmentalizing and I'm looking and I'm saying, well, dang damn it, every damn player does it.
You got to make a lady in the front row. You got to flinch at her because she called you a crybaby. Is that necessary? What is that?
Okay, now you lost me. I don't know.
There's a lady in the front row that called him a crybaby. He walked over to her and went like this to her. To a woman in the front row, like he was going to punch her.
Wait a minute. Back up a second.
Yeah.
LeBron James got
in a
called a
playoff
crybaby. She was going like this. It's all over the internet. She's going like this to him. He goes over all the graphics right on it. He's saying these fucking refs are terrible. They're fucking terrible. She calls him a crybaby. He goes over right next to her, walking by her in the front row, goes like this.
Again?
And then goes before. No, and then goes over to his teammates and says, "Did you see me make her flinch? What is that? Are we in 5th grade?"
I have to back up there in terms of that. That I
Like,
can't defend that. I won't. I won't
But
defend
whether
that.
it's a woman or a man or a kid or a grandma, why are you pretending like you want to fight a fan?
Unless even if I mean the only way I could say here's what I'm saying. You're right in that regard. That's wrong, and I'm not going to defend that. I'm not going to, because right now when you say that instantly takes me back to Detroit and Indiana, and it's like are we starting to head that way? And it's no, I can't. I will never defend that. I will never. The baby antics, the crying on the field, jumping up and down. I don't give.
Do that to the wrong Knicks fan or Philly fan. Do that to the wrong Knicks or Philly fan.
You're right about that.
You might get hands, and then we got this bullshit. Now we got to talk about why LeBron wanted to fight a
like
fan.
that Sixers fan flipping off Westbrook.
Yeah. My point as a pro,
that guy's a doctor.
As a pro on his level, I'm not even saying as a general pro. There got to be some level of
decorum.
Everyone's looking at me. Let's not make it a scene. Let's make it an example of how people should be. And he's not at that. He's at I think he's at a frustration point. I mean, it kind of shows that the team didn't come together the way he thought. They got their little fucking, prize in the middle of the year and thought they were the shit, and it fell apart when everyone thought it would. And now, I mean, instead of just going back, I mean, I saw a little clip where people were comparing, and I'm not saying I hate this LeBron Jordan comparison, but they were showing like similar situations that these two went through and how they reacted to it. And they were showing Mike in a conference afterwards, and they showed LeBron do his little shit, throw the mic down and walk out. It's like if you put them all next to each other, sure, you can make anyone look better or worse, but it's like he changed. It's like, why did he have to change? Like he thinks he's above the law is how I feel. And someone who does that, I mean, respect authority to a certain extent. Yeah, you're going to argue with a referee or probably not always agree with your coach, but he's literally scolding referees and coaches like they're little kids. And now he wants to fight women in the stands.
Yeah, I can't defend that. I won't defend.
But I
that.
mean, what's worse about doing the flinch is going over to your buddies and saying, I mean, there's pictures
Did you see
everywhere of
that?
him saying, "Did you see that? Did you see me make her flinch?" You know,
Mhm.
Like
That's
what
bull.
is
That's BS. You're right, Blaze. You're 1 trillion, 1 quadrillion% right.
for the most part, you're on the
that says-
floor eliminates that, but it's over and over. Why are we talking about all this dumb shit? And yeah, I can accept a lot of the on-court antics because you're trying to win a game. You can convince a referee to call a foul. I get all that. Trust me. Trust me. It's frustrating when
that part.
That's why I'm so glad this fucking era is over. I will miss Steph Curry because I love that dude. Durant never really panned out to what he was supposed to be, but LeBron, good riddance, my man. Good riddance. And if we're still on the LeBron thing, I did read a weird article today about little Bronny being down to 4 colleges now instead of, and one's West Virginia. And here I can have a personal tie here. It's Duke, Ohio State, Louisville, and West Virginia.
What about Duquesne?
No, it wasn't on the list. There was 4. So I don't know if Duquesne's off the list or what. This is a situation that's fluid. It could change tomorrow, you know. So as of the last time, now here's a situation I know. There's a kid named Rodney Gallagher. He's from my hometown. He plays for West Virginia, wide receiver. He was best friends with LeBron's son, Bronny, for 2 years. He's in West Virginia. LeBron has friends. He has connections here where I'm at, which is 15, 20 minutes away. So if he does go to West Virginia, I can make sense of that. He's already been in this area a few times. So if Bronny wants to come here, he's already welcome here. Maybe he can help West Virginia. But I'm not rude. I'm not canceling out the fact he might get fucking drafted just for the sake of LeBron.
Yeah, I can see the Lakers doing to try to keep him there because I think if they don't draft him, he probably leaves.
Which I think is the dumbest thing in the world as a business.
Got a
I
player
get it.
option for
Why?
51 million.
Yeah, but if
y'all
Bronny
forget.
don't go into the draft, where does LeBron go from there? That's the big
LeBron
question.
is staying in LA because they're staying. What you call was talking. All his businesses, he has so many business. Everything that he's doing is geared to staying in LA even after he retires. So that's why the organization is trying to do things per se, because that's what he wants. He wants them to do that. Now, if he's not playing for the Lakers, for me, my opinion is he would just retire. I would say I can't see him going to anyone. I mean, he's not a KD hoe where he's just going to go try and chase a ring in that regard.
You couldn't see him go home one more time to Cleveland or something?
Nah.
He's already done that.
Yeah. He's LA. He's LA.
He's
LA. He's LA. Now, if I can't, I don't think it's going to happen. But if the Clippers were to find a way, I could see him saying, "I'll." Nah, you know what? Let me backtrack. No.
I don't see him retiring because he's going to want a
I don't
farewell
either.
tour. His ego he's going to want a farewell tour. He's not going to retire.
Yeah, he wants 5 more years.
But it's LA. It's with the Lakers. That's what I'm saying.
He's gonna say, at the end of the day, shout out to Blaze Radio for that. At the end of the day, he's gonna say in LA.
But listen, that is something that we will have all offseason to talk about. Trust me. So thank you, LeBron, for giving us content for the offseason because we talked about the decision 1.0 back in the day. We're gonna have that kind of shit all offseason. So
all right, now let's talk about the most hype series of the next round: Minnesota Timberwolves versus the Denver Nuggets.
Well, now that Mitch jinxed it and Anthony Edwards is getting hurt in game
Okay,
1, there goes this.
Well, you said jinx it now. You said jinx
I'm
it.
kidding. I'm joking.
I know. Oh, great. My Siri went off because of that. But Timberwolves versus Nuggets. How do you guys see that series painting out? Who you guys got on top? Pause.
It's going to be a good one. I think it's going to be a good back and forth. I think because, with the Nuggets, they play as a team. Even on the off nights, they still find a way to win. And Jamal Murray turns into Jordan in the playoffs.
I love Jamal Murray.
But I think this is going to be a good test for Anthony Edwards because he's going against a team that's, the Nuggets are favored to win. So it's going to be a real good test for him to see if he's able to, carry these young Timberwolves to a couple wins, and maybe we get a game 7. I see it going Nuggets in 6, but I mean, if it goes to 7, I wouldn't complain.
I would not complain either. Nikki?
And spinning off what Rio said, I still think the Nuggets are the better team. But even if the Nuggets win in 6 or 7, that could be a good confidence booster for Anthony Edwards going forward. He can learn from that experience of being against the top team, coming close, and do better in the future. But I do think as of now, the Nuggets are the better team this season. I think as long as everyone on their side stays healthy, they should come out on top and move on to the conference finals.
How many games? Who you got on top? How many games?
The Nuggets in, I'll say 7.
All right, Nuggets in 7. Coach.
Minnesota has the best defense in the league.
Yeah.
And that right there is where it leaves me. And Ant knows that this is his opportunity to make a name and elevate his status in the league. And there's one big other factor, because if Gobert can at least contain, I'm not saying dominate or shut him down, but if he can contain Jokic, and you have Murray and Edwards, who in Denver matches up with Cat? That to me is probably going to be a big X factor.
Yeah, they probably throw someone like Aaron Gordon at him or something. It's gonna be, it's gonna be tough.
It's going to be tough, and it's like, my mind says don't vote against Denver, but my heart is like Minnesota right now is on the upcline. They really are, and they play very well defensively. And it's how does Denver handle that defense? And Minnesota, it's not just their starting five. They have guys on the bench that can come in and sustain.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go with the upset, Minnesota in 7.
Oh, okay.
All right, please.
The beauty of this one is I have no freaking idea how this is going to play out. And I love that about it. I really don't. I mean, obviously you want to think, Nuggets are the champs, Nuggets on a roll. They got Jokic rolling, Jamal playing hot, Porter on fire every once in a while. They got seems to be rolling on all cylinders right now. Why not just roll through towards? But then you got this red hot team, and like Coach just pointed out, when you got one of the best defenses also, you can change the game. You change the pace, you change the flow of the game. If they can take them out of rhythm, they'd have to steal one in Denver. That's the bottom line, which that's the bottom line. Can they steal one in Denver is the question we're asking. And that's tough. That is tough to say. So I'm going to pass. I don't know what's going to happen. I can't wait to find out what's going to happen. I would hope 7 games. I'm a 7-game guy. I love game 7s, or I'll take every series in the whole damn playoffs to go 7.
Yeah.
Hey, the best 2 words in sports, game 7.
Yeah.
Yeah. And for me, it comes down to Michael Porter Jr. Is that guy going to be automatic from beyond the arc? Is this guy going to hit his shots? Because if he's on fire, I don't think Minnesota can contain that. I honestly don't think so. So I got Denver in 7.
Here's the thing with Porter, too, and I'm a big MPJ fan. I love Michael Porter Jr. I invested in him, too, just so I get both Tyrese's. But the thing with Porter is, can he do that and blow up and be that guy? Yeah, but he's inconsistent. He can be very inconsistent. That's always been his problem. As talented as he is, if he could tap into that and gain consistency, I think he's got the talent to be a perennial all-star. But right now, he just suffers from that. Can't stay even partially consistent. But when he clicks, here's the other side of the coin. When Porter is hot, like you say, and he is tough to defend, he gets tunnel vision sometimes, and he doesn't pass the ball. Like, he's not the best assist guy. He gets very greedy when he gets hot, which a lot of shooters do, but that could be his downfall sometimes too. And I'm a huge Michael Porter Jr. fan, but he could be the X factor is what you're trying to say.
And then if you want to flip the other side of the coin too, Karl-Anthony Towns. We all know what that guy can bring. He's a stretch 4. That guy, we've seen him put up like what? How many points did he put up when Embiid dropped like 70? Cat dropped like 40 or 50 that one night.
Hey,
so
and I said
is capable of that.
Watching Cat since Kentucky, I know how he is, and he's an alpha. And we talked about this beginning of the year too. Will he give up the reins to Anthony Edwards? So right now the conundrum is It seems like he is. It is Ants, but can Cat show that he can be old Cat at the same time while we get new Anthony? You know what I'm saying? Like he's given over the reins, but he still has to be the Cat he can be, but at the same time kind of step aside for the new boy. And that is a hell of a duo if they can do that. But Cat is, like we talked about at the beginning of the season, Cat isn't the one to be like, and think about him. He's the guy who has been the man for a long time. And right now, who is everybody talking about? Not Cat. They're talking about the other guy. So you bet your ass Cat has a fire under there to show. He wants to show the fans and everybody, hey, you're talking about my boy and he's my boy, but I want to show you guys I'm still here. So that could be a factor too. So I'm with you, Mitch.
Correct. And one more thing before we go into the next one. Rudy Gobert. We know what he is on the defensive side of the ball. What is he going to bring on the offensive side? Is he going to bring up 0? Is he going to bring up like
they don't got? He can give you a 20 piece, a 25 piece in the middle of and he can get going. And don't forget what's his name? What's the point guard? What's his name? Conley. Conley will get him going, and next thing you know, you're getting those lobs, and he can sky over Jokic, man. He can sky over Jokic, and if he starts getting those monster dunks, which energizes that team, man, and it changes Denver on how you have to defend them, because that's the whole thing. And then you add Conley, and Conley he's sneaky good. He'll just sit back there, give you that lefty three. Then he's driving right down the lane, kicking it. I mean, that's why Minnesota to me is. But you made a good point, and Blade, you made a good point. Like you guys, you've been watching him since Kentucky. I've been watching him since he was in Piscataway, New Jersey, going to St. Joseph Metuchen, and literally around not that far from where I used to live at. So I've seen him play in person. And back then, yes, Blaze, you were right. He was a man amongst boys, and he's ascended it, and he's been put on that pedestal where he's used to that. So you're right. So I'm still taking Minnesota in 7, though.
Yeah. And one last thing before we go into predictions: the Boston Celtics. People keep on saying that they're like leaps and bounds over everyone else, and I'm like, no. The Sixers are there. The Knicks are there. You can argue even the Cavs. The Cavs are there.
Yeah. Well, first thing I want to know is what's going on with Porzingis.
Yeah, he's
out. That's a big piece of the puzzle.
Out. He's getting surgery. I think he's out.
Yeah, that's a big piece to the puzzle.
Yeah,
he's definitely getting surgery, or because they said it was like the same as Giannis, so he's out for a few games.
I think he's out for a few games. If it's not surgery, then yeah, he's going to be out for.
But that does change a little bit, because the difference between Boston being one of the best and being that team that everyone was putting on the top shelf was Porzingis' second half of the season, along with everybody else. So now losing that piece, and listen, this is just a fact. I'm not using it as excuse or anything, but you got to think about this all the way across the board during these playoffs. Yeah. One person goes down on some of these teams, changes the whole outlook of these playoffs, because there's a lot. Look at the Thunder sitting there. They got to wait. So they're going to be healthy. They're going to be rested, but they're super young. They have no experience deep into the playoffs, but they have the talent. That's a huge question. The East, I think the East is still way up for grabs.
It is.
I think
I'm right there with you.
Actually, you can probably sit here and have an argument for all 8 teams to make it to the finals. Somewhere along the line. Is there any argument that you can make? And now I'm throwing in the possibility of Giannis is done for the season. Like things like that. Giannis is out. And then they go to the next round and someone else is out. These things can happen where a path opens up. Miami last year was a good example. They came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Can they do it again this year? No, they don't have all the same pieces. Probably not. But I'm just saying, I think the East is wide open and the West is tight like gnat booty, as my man from Outkast used to say. It is tight out there in the West.
Yeah. Got that booty on
tight like gnat booty.
Yeah. So there's just one player on Boston that Coach and I were talking about, and I think he's extremely underrated, Derek White.
Yeah.
Derek White and his shooting ability and his defense. I made this take a couple days ago and months ago.
he might
Derek
be
White's
the
gonna be
piece
all.
this year that finally gets him over the hump if he continues playing that way.
Yep, coming
Derek
into his
White.
own, definitely. Yep.
Yeah, Derek White's going to be an all NBA defensive team first. He's going to be all first
see that.
defensive team. So I'm saying, look out, because we know that Tatum doesn't really step up. In the last game, he did not, but he has the supporting cast to do it. That takes him over. But I can still see the Knicks or the Sixers taking them because of how physical we play, how dominant it is on both sides of the ball.
Man, go
So,
full circle
I
to
can
my
see
first
both
one of
sides.
my first comments about these 24 young guys ready to take over the league. The best thing about that is there's probably another dozen guys right below that level that can make it up into that level and give us even more stars. Like we were
Correct.
just talking about some of these names that are, the mid-level stars that have the talent, just need the opportunity. And if they do, the next thing you know, we got more legendary players to talk about. I mean, it's just super exciting right now. The rest of this playoffs is going to be fire. It's unpredictable to me at this moment, even though you got the Nuggets and Celtics who have led the way most of the year, but that doesn't guarantee shit at this point. It's going to be fun to watch, man. It's going to be fun. Strap it in, folks.
It could be the T-Wolves. It could possibly be maybe the Thunder.
Strap it on, strap it up, strap it down, strap it in, strap it on. Strap
Pause.
Pause.
It is episode 69, motherfuckers.
Right.
Getting dirty up in here. I was gonna wear my mankini, but I forgot to shave.
That was my idea.
Yeah. You don't want to get grimy like that, bro, because you're talking to the wrong one, man. Come on, pimpin'. Let me stop.
All right. So, Coach, how do you feel about Boston? Leaps and bounds over everybody?
Boston.
Okay.
I want to go
Coach.
bitch slap that damn team after. No, you stop. No, they're not leaps and bounds over everyone. I mean,
I agree.
First and foremost, how are you going to handle a team that's physical? I mean, to be honest with you, if they face Orlando is a physical team, and they play good defense. So heck, even Cleveland with their quote unquote twin towers, so they do play good physical defense. How do they handle that? But Boston does seem to just find a way. This year are
you serious?
All right.
I love it.
Don't even give
Everybody get it. Everybody grab it. Everybody grab it.
I can't even see it. I can't
It's right
even
at the
see it.
bottom.
No, it's not there for me.
Sucker.
It's okay. But Coach,
oh boy, oh damn boy. Yeah, I mean the physical level. How do they do? And you want to know what? Even if Porzingis was there, he doesn't. I don't think he can handle certain physical players. So, are they leaps and bounds over everyone? No. Are they still an elite program? Yes. So, but you know what? It won't surprise me if they lose. So,
I knew, Blaze, you were going to put it out there. I knew you. I know you. All right, Rios, how do you feel?
Yeah.
You think they're leaps and bounds?
No, I don't think they're leaps and bounds. I think the East is wide open, but whoever wins the East isn't winning the NBA championship. Whoever makes it out of the West is winning it. I think the West is leaps and bounds above the East right now.
Yeah. You can make that argument, but I can see where you're coming from there. I can see it. All right. Now we're going to go with the predictions for tonight's game, and we'll throw in tomorrow's games as well. Heat in Boston tonight. At Boston.
I mean,
Austin.
I should be the Celtics, but something just gives me an odd feeling that maybe the Heat might. I don't know. Maybe I'm just trying to go against the grain without realizing it. I mean, there is a chance the Heat might get a win, maybe take it to game 6, or Boston flat out wins it tonight. I'll put it that way.
Okay. Coach.
we ain't having no Boston Tea Party, so Boston.
Blaze, while
69.
you're having fun with 69, Who you got
doesn't?
winning? True.
69.
Who you got winning?
69.
69, blow your mind, baby.
All right. Let me guess. Home team.
69.
Home team. All right, Rios.
Boston.
I got my. I'm going Miami. I'm gonna go Miami here. Dallas at the Clippers.
Ooh.
I am. So the series is tied 2-2, and it's in LA tonight. So I am going. I'm gonna go with Dallas. I'm going with the away teams. Chris is going Clippers in Miami. Whoever
Is-
wants to take it, take
Is
it.
Kawhi playing tonight?
Yeah, I was about to ask, is Kawhi playing?
I think he is. I don't know. That's why I took Dallas just to be safe.
Yeah, if Kawhi's playing, I'm going Clippers.
Okay.
I think Kawhi playing Clippers, if not Mavs, that could go. That's going to be the X factor for that outcome.
Hmm.
All right. Blaze.
69.
All right.
All right.
We know what Blaze wants tonight. Mm-hmm. Yeah, baby.
Yeah. All right, guys.
No, I'm just
We're not doing that again. All right,
I only
guys.
had one opportunity to do this for the 69th episode. Now we got 100 more shows to go.
Okay, for what?
100 more to go.
100 more to go.
100 bottles of beer on the wall. 100.
100 bottles.
100 pick and rolls on the
Oh my
wall.
God.
100 pick and rolls.
I've only had one time where I've actually heard someone do the entire song.
But let me do it right now. Give me full screen. No, I'm just kidding. No!
All right, guys. So that concludes episode 69. We'll see you next week. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe. And yeah,
Promo
Yeah.
cookies.
we'll catch you all later.